come down onto your back. Oh, reach your arms up over your head. Stretch. Stretch out. Wake up. Move the body a little bit. I'm just tuning in and checking in with where you are this morning. And then walk the arms, the upper body over to the right, and walk the legs over to the right so that you get a good stretch up the left side of the body. You're like a banana, bananasana. Feel the stretch on the left side of your body from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Option is stay right where you are. You can go a little deeper by taking a hold of the left wrist with the right hand and crossing one of the ankles over the other. One more breath here. Make your way through center. Stretch the arms and the legs away from each other, full body stretch. And then come to the other side. Upper body and the arms over to the left. Walk the legs over to the left and stretch out the right side of the body. Feel the right side waking up, warming up, stretching out. Option to stay here. Take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand and cross one of the ankles over the other, deepening the stretch just a little more. One more breath here. Come back into center. Stretch the arms and the legs away from each other, full body stretch. Ooh. And then hug the knees into the chest. Bring both of the knees into the chest, hug them in. And bring your forehead up to try to touch your kneecap. Squeeze your body around your spine. And bring your head back down to the mat. And bring your feet back down to the mat. Take a hold of your strap. It is now lying beside you. And bring your right leg up into the air. Take the strap, place it around the ball of your foot, and then bring your leg up until it is straight. So if there's a bend in the knee, then let the leg go further away from the body. Okay, we want the leg straight, and also if it's shaking, that means too far. So reach the arms up as high as you can on the strap until your arms are also straight. I also like to add in like an extra loop, and then bring the left leg out long. Flex the left leg. Double check in with the right leg again with the knee straight. Did that make it so you were shaking? Just settle in. Double check that your shoulder blades are on the mat. Your arms are nice and long. That you are expending the least amount of energy that you need to here. Still getting a good stretch on the back of the right leg. Opening up the hamstring and the calf. And breathe. Remember the analogy of the tissues like stretching out more. So as you breathe, just know that the tissues stretch a little bit, like every breath. They get longer, which means that you can stretch them even more. So if that's calling to you, then feel free to either walk the hands up the straps a tiny bit more, bring the leg a little bit closer. Just remember that shaking is your point. You don't want to shake. Shaking means you've gone beyond the edge, though we're not doing a yin class here. Keep your left leg grounded and then flex the right foot. Bring the toes down towards your nose and notice the increased stretch on the back of the leg. Breathe. Take both of the straps in the right hand. Same guiding principles that the shoulder blade is on the mat and the arm is nice and long. And then open the leg out to the right. And feel free to adjust if you need. Maybe it's too high. Maybe you can go higher on the strap. Whatever feels good. Option to bring the left arm out just for some added balance. And think about keeping both of your legs long and grounded, so feet flexed. And breathe. You able to tune into the parts of you? Are there any parts that want to speak? And even if you remember the tool of the daily check-in, in checking in with each part of you. How is your physical self feeling today? How is your emotional self feeling today? How is your intellectual self feeling today? And how is your spiritual self feeling today? Are they calling for anything from you? How can you acknowledge each part of you? Feel the leg opening and stretching even more. Go of any tensions that may be coming up. Any thoughts. Any breakups with the instructor. One more breath here. Engage your core and then bring the leg back up. Always want to protect the lower back. Switch the grip. Sometimes holding for so long, you can get stuck with the hand in the claw. That's okay. And bring the right arm out to the side with the palm face down to stabilize. Keep both of your hips on the ground and bring the right leg across the body. So quite often when I say this, people go straight for the right all the way over, but keep both of your hips planted firmly on the ground. And only the leg comes across the body. This way you can stretch out that IT band on the outer thigh, a big, tough, fibrous band of tissue. It's like, how much attention do you really pay to it? When rolling it out with like foam rollers and stuff, this is not a comfortable roll. This is not a comfortable massage. This is a really tight band of tissue, and you can help ease that discomfort by stretching it out on your own. So just feel that. Option to stay right here if this is something that you need, or you can continue all the way, coming into a supine twist, right leg all the way over to the left. Just notice what feels good for you. Can you keep both of your shoulder blades on the mat? Keep your left leg grounded, your right foot flexed. If it doesn't have to, if it touches, it touches. My guide does not touch. Just feel yourself releasing tension with your exhale. Just letting go of whatever it is you're carrying with you. One more breath. And then slowly come back up through center, engaging the core as you do, and bend the knee. Take a hold of the outer edge of the foot. Come into half, happy baby. Breathe. Keep the knee bent, the foot facing up to the ceiling, and work on bringing the knee closer to the ground. And as you do that, notice that, like, yeah, you could do that if you move the body. Keep the body strong, grounded. So we have reclined pigeon here. Take a hold of the right foot with the left hand and or arm. And basically you're cradling the lower leg towards your chest. Doing like an upside down pigeon. Breathe. You spent so far 2 weeks sitting on the ground. I'm sure any kind of like back stuff has come up for you. So just feel the hips opening, the hamstring strength stretching. And slowly release the right foot back down to the mat and bring the right leg down and in line with the left leg. One of my teachers loves to take this as the opportunity to see like how yoga works instantaneously. So notice your right leg feels 10 miles longer than your left leg. And then let's switch sides. So bring the right sole of the foot to the mat, bend the right knee, and bring the left leg up into the air. Strap around the foot, one hand on either side of the strap. And then set yourself up. Remember that when you straighten out the right leg, that adds some increased tension. So set yourself up for a straight leg. Remember, if you are bending in any way, just back off a bit. If you're shaking, back off a bit. This is really about just feeling good in your body, not performing in any way. Mark Stevens talks or speaks to the idea of like the problem in calling our postures poses is that it presents like the idea of a pose, and poses are static, right? Poses are what you do for a picture. And if we think of them that way, then there's this like snapshot of how it's supposed to look. And it's bullshit. What matters is how the poses feel. So feel that stretch in the back of the leg, and then when and if you're ready, bring the right leg out long and ground the right leg. And then flex the left foot and feel that increased stretch on the back of the leg. Pull the toes towards the nose. And then bring the straps into the left hand. Preparing yourself to open the leg out to the left, bring the right arm out to the side for counterbalance, and start to open the left leg out to the left, readjusting as needed. Breathe. One more breath here. Engage the core. Bring the leg back into center. Switch the grip on the straps. Same thing, take your time. And keep the hips planted. Open the leg or cross the leg across the body. Keep the hips planted firmly on the ground. Feel the stretch up the outer thigh. Double check in with your legs. Are they still flexed? Is the right leg grounded? The left leg strong? Option to stay here, open all the way over to the right. Just honoring what your physical body needs today. One more breath. And engage the core and bring the leg back up to center. Take the strap off. Come into half happy baby on the left side. Breathe. And come into reclined pigeons. So bring that lower leg in towards your belly. And release the left leg down to the mat, nice and long. Bring the arms up over the head, stretch out your body one last time. Oh. And then bring your knees into your chest and cross your shins over one another. Take a hold of the big toes. And start to roll back and forth. They'll come all the way up to sitting and then back down. Just rolling out the length of your spine. Goal is to roll all the way over into plow or shoulder stand. So if that feels good to you, please feel free. And if you don't feel like doing that, then do whatever feels good. Feel free to come to plow or shoulder stand. I always feel like for me in the morning, plow is like the very last option. I can't get my feet down, but if I do it in the afternoon, no problem. And breathe. And then bring your arms out behind you on the ground, palms face down, and slowly start to bring your bum back down to the mat. And the legs into your chest. Just breathe, noticing the difference. And then take a hold of the toes once more. Start doing the rolly thing again. Only this time we'll come all the way up to seated. Just come up to seated. Inhale, bring your arms up over your head, reach up high. Exhale, reach the right hand down to the mat beside you, lean over, reach to the side. And then inhale through center, exhale to the other side. Inhale through center, reach both of your arms up nice and high, try to touch the ceiling, and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Bring the soles of your feet together in front of you, pull your heels in towards the groins, take a hold of the big toes of your feet. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the chest down towards the feet, allow the head to hang, the shoulders to round. Feel the body opening up in all the directions. And plant your palms on the mat in front of you. Slowly come up to seated. Bring the hands all the way back behind you. Fingers pointing in towards the body. Lift the chest. Try to touch the shoulder blades on your back. Keep looking forward. Come back to center. Bring the ankles out to the side, back behind you. Come up onto all fours. Spread the fingers wide. Plant your palms below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Untuck your toes. Put the weight into the hands where the fingers meet the palms. Inhale, bring your belly towards the mat. Look up at the ceiling. Exhale, push the ground away from you. Arch your back, point the top of your head at your mat. And just continue to flow, inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat. Really warming up, lubricating your spine. One more round. And on your next breath, bring your spine to neutral. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Alternate the bend in your knees or walk out your dog. Just warming up the backs of your legs even more. Maybe a little lower down, focusing on the calves. Bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Allow your head to hang and your shoulders to round. Option to keep the hands on the mat in front of you or take a hold of opposite elbows. Release the hands back down to the mat. Come down onto the knees. Come back up on the feet. Heel toe the feet out as wide as your mat. And bring the feet to a 45-degree angle, pointing away from each other, and then bend the knees. Sit down into your squat. And feel free to move from side to side. Just warming up the inner thighs, the outer hips. And then come back to settle. An option to allow the arms to reach away from you and your head to hang for Garland Malasana, and or start to bring the elbows to the inside of the knees and the hands to prayer. Feel into Malasana. Really helpful for the digestive system, though most of us here probably don't need help with that now. One more breath. Bring your hands to the mat in front of you and then slowly come back up, straighten out the legs, heel toe the feet back in. And then come back down onto the knees. And bring the knees together and take the heels apart. Sit back in between the heels. Just notice how that lands. If you want, you can remove the calf flesh and or use your best friend here. Sit on. There we go. Just come into hero's pose or virasana. And find a nice long spine. And just find the pose. Feel it. Whether you hate it, you love it, just notice. And then option to stay right here, or bring your hands back behind you with your fingers pointing towards the body. Keep the knees towards one another. Lift your chest. Try to bring your shoulder blades to touch behind you. Keep your head looking forward. Option to stay here, or you can come down onto the elbows. The knees might start to come apart, and the goal is to like keep pulling them together, but also not worry about it. Like don't think you can't do it if the knees are coming apart. Then the option to stay here, come all the way down if that feels good to you. And the very last option, all the way down, arms overhead, taking a hold of opposite elbows. Breathe. Just remember the concept of an edge. If you come in too deep, you're gonna want to die very quickly. Maybe die is too aggressive for yoga. You're gonna want to come out. And the last option for some added stretch on those big muscles in the thighs, the quadricep muscles, is to pull the knees down towards the mat, squeeze the bum, and think about reaching the thighs up towards the ceiling. Not actually lifting anything. It's more of like a muscular, energetic action that increases the stretch on your quads. Yeah. There it is. One more breath here. And if you are taking a hold of the elbows, then bring the hands back down. If you are laying on your back, come onto your elbows. If you are on your elbows, come up onto your hands. If you are on your hands, slowly make your way back up to seated. Knees back together, heels apart. Take a breath. And then let's slowly make our way into child's pose. Take the knees out as wide as the mat. Big toes together. Push the hips over the heels. Walk the hands out in front of you. Chest comes down towards the mat. Breathe. Did any of the parts of yourself want to let go of anything? Here's the opportunity to really breathe and release. To let go. When you're ready, bend the elbows and plant the palms below your shoulders and slowly push up onto all fours. Bring the knees back towards one another. Cross the ankles behind you. Sit down on your mat. Bring your legs out in front of you. And make your way down onto your back any way that feels good to you. Hug the knees into your chest. Bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. Take a hold of the outer edges of your feet, coming into happy baby pose. We're done. Allie's over it. She's over me. This is irreconcilable. Oh my God, I'm not cutting that off the YouTube video. Hug your knees into your chest. And then when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet to your mat and walk your feet away from you until your legs are flat. Push the back of your head into your mat. Roll your shoulders down your spine. Push the back of your head into your mat and roll your shoulders down your spine. Allow your hands to fall away from your body and your palms to face the ceiling. Take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And let it out with a sigh. Just let go of your breath and allow your body to breathe itself. Take all of the thoughts that you have in your head right now and just allow them to ooze out of the crown of your head, onto your mat, and away from you. Start to relax your body, beginning with the top of your head. Relax your forehead and feel your eyes grow wide. Feel your eyes sink into the back of your head. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw and let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Relax the throat and the neck and let any tension ooze out of the tops of your shoulders onto your mat and away from you. Relax the muscles that run along your spine. Relax your arms, your wrists, and your hands. Relax your chest and your abdomen and let your hips be wide. Relax your thighs and your knees and your shins and your calves. Invite some awareness back into your breath. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. Turn your head from side to side. Pull your knees up into your chest, hug them in. Roll from side to side. Eventually rolling all the way over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow. And take a breath here. Use the strength of your left hand to push yourself all the way up to seated. Keep your eyes nice and heavy. And when you get here, roll your shoulders down your spine and rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Take a nice, long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands together in the center of your chest. Bow your head. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice this morning. From my heart to yours. Namaste.